Whether you watch sports or play them, whether you ignore them or you can't live without them, we all have to acknowledge that they're an enduring part of what it means to be human. Tonight, our tellers bring us stories of the sporting life. From first attempts to last hurrahs, from the sidelines to leaving it all out on the field.
My name's Sophie Wadsworth. I live outside of Boston, and I'm a mom, I'm a writer, and I'm someone who helps leaders both in nonprofits and the corporate world to tell better stories and to really uncover their own hidden stories in themselves and in their organizations.
I am curious, the story that you're sharing with us tonight, what would you hope that an audience would take away after hearing it?
I hope they'll take away that it can be a gift to be an outsider and pass through a difficult experience with other people, even if it doesn't seem so at the time.
I think that's a fantastic lesson.
I mean, I wonder if I even took that advice a little better and thought, yes, sometime I will draw from this a greater, I guess, empathy, a greater understanding of somebody because I have been through this trial.
Do you think that difficult stories that we have in our own lives, do you think that more often than not, they're worth having lived through to have that experience and to potentially grow from it? Or do you have items in your life where you're like, I could have done without having that story?
Both. And the story I'm going to tell tonight is certainly one where I'm very glad to have had the experience. It was a gift. It's Saturday morning, and my sister and I put on our tackle football gear. It's the 1970s in New York City, and my mom's in her full feminist phase. Our football pants are so tight, we have to lie on the bed to yank them on. We wake those mornings with a kind of sick feeling in our stomach, a dread, really. Downstairs, we kiss our parents goodbye and climb into the van to sit thigh to thigh with the boys. Our mom actually had to talk us onto the team. I'm 9, my sister Jenny is 8, and we played for years in the Pee Wee League. But now the boys have gone on to play tackle football, and my mom signs us up, and the coach says, no way, they're girls, they're gonna get hurt, and they need special protective gear. Well, a few phone calls later, finally, my mom says it's actually against the law not to let them on the team, with Title IX having been passed, and reluctantly, we're allowed to join. On the van, the stuffing explodes from the vinyl seat covers, and the boys insult us. One cranes his head back and sneers, "You two look like boys." Jenny is cowering behind me. That night, I tell my mom about it. I tell her in a tough way. I try to feel tough, that's what she wants. She coaches us to talk back. Here's what you do. Whatever they say it back to them twice and at the top of your lungs. Next time, we're passing a billboard. There's a tall woman in a yellow bikini, copper-toned suntan lotion ad. And Aiden, the quarterback, a skinny kid who's 5 inches shorter than me, he leans back and sneers and says, "Bet you never wear a bikini like that." So I spit back, "Bet you never wear a bikini like that. Bet you never wear a bikini like that, scumbag." And I feel very proud that I thought to add scumbag at the end. Aiden looks a bit shocked. And the great thing is, the insults taper off after that. Out on the football field, there are lines and rules, and we pull up our striped tube socks and learn to play football. My sister, Jenny, is a running back. She has always been fast. And what I love is to watch her run down the field, cradling the ball in her arms into the end zone for another touchdown. She's our top scorer, and she's my sister. I'm a linebacker, and I learned how to tackle. Tackling really is like a big hug. I wrap my arms around the boy's knees, push all my weight into him, and pull him down onto the grass, that satisfying thud. In the afternoons, we play games against other teams. 4 years in this sports league, there's never another girl. And whether we win or lose, at the end, when we take off our helmets, the other team shouts out, "Oh man, those are girls on their team." And sometimes that feels good. I say, "Yeah, and we beat you." But a lot of the time, our teammates look like they'd rather die or vaporize us, or both. There was one time Mark, who's one of the kind ones, I just had a feeling. On the way back to the van, he said, "Nice game out there." It was so different than school. We wore uniform skirts, and if I fell down in PE class, the gym teacher sent me to the nurse, this little room with white cots that smelled like antiseptic. One time, a kid named Terrence, stocky with a buzz cut, decided to pick a fight with me. And he grabbed my arm and scratched so hard down the back of my hand that it started bleeding. I had this queasy feeling in me. I could feel just how much he hated me. The coach backed us up in moments like that. He bandaged my hand, made Terrence sit out for a few plays, but still, it hurt. And I never knew where the next lashing out was going to come from. In a couple years, the boys started boasting that their girlfriends were watching from the sidelines during the afternoon games. It was probably their sisters. I remember one time it was drizzling, and my hands were red and raw, and I see a girl under an umbrella. She's got on a pink sweater. It looks like cotton candy, and she looks so warm and cozy, nothing to prove to anyone. Still, I did like the feeling when I could tackle a boy with the ball before he got to the end zone. That satisfying thump on the grass. And our mom had said 100 times, "Who wants to be a beauty queen standing around? She is going nowhere." And one time in the huddle, Aiden leans in to tell us the play, and he squints at me through his face mask. And I see on the outside of his helmet a magazine page. It's taped with Scotch tape, and it has a woman on it who's naked, busty, full color. What is she doing on his helmet? And then I realize it's for me. He's saying, "This is a real woman. This is everything that you are not." By now, I understand what fear can do, how it twists people up into meanness and cruelty. After 4 years of this, I know how it feels to be an outsider, to be seen always as an intruder. Now I'm a mom, and it's my turn. One of my proudest moments came watching our son on the soccer field. He's 8 years old, and when a player got hit really hard, knocked down on the ground, and is crying, and everyone's waiting for the coach to come out, our son heads right over to stand beside him to make sure that he doesn't feel alone. Ever since those football years, I've noticed people who are left out. I've had a kind of special attention for those who are on the outside, and I've reached out however I can.